Hello, and thank you for joining us for the second season of the Acunet Back Pocket webinar series. I am Jeffrey Morin, an Acumatica Implementation Project Manager, and I am joined with Becky.
Hi, my name is Becky Kukas, and I'm the Director of the ERP Business Solutions here at Acunet.
And we're also joined with Tom.
Hi, everyone. Tom Fitzpatrick, BI Solution Engineer with DataSelf, and excited to show you a little bit more about our product and how we can give you better business insights.
And we are so pleased to be sharing with you the DataSelf solution to help out those of our clients that have concerns about retaining legacy data. From my personal experience with data warehousing, I definitely can see the need to retain legacy data for reporting purposes, but not necessarily populate Acumatica with all of that data. When I came upon DataSelf, a preferred Acumatica solutions provider, I was impressed to say the least, and I talked to Becky about showing it off, and so here we are. But before we go any further, Becky, do you want to share a little bit more about Acunet?
Sure. Okay, so Acunet is been around for about 30 years now, and we have two divisions to our company. The ERP Business Services Division we've been implementing and supporting Dynamics SL since 1989, and now Acumatica since 2012. Acunet was one of the very first partners of Acumatica. We have customers all over the US, and some of our customers even have international divisions. Our IT Services division offers a full service managed service plan for your technology needs. The major difference is their customer base is in the Columbus, Ohio area. I invite you all to explore our website and discover our capabilities. So really what Acunet does is we solve problems for our customers by increasing their ROI with process improvements. Most of us on our team, we're customers and users of the products that we support. So it comes natural for us to be customer service driven. Okay, Jeff, I'm going to turn this back over to you.
Okay, thanks, Becky. And now Tom will introduce you to DataSelf.
Excellent. So let me share my screen here. All right, so DataSelf Analytics, just going to tell you a little bit about who we are and how we started. So we were founded in 2005 by our founder and CEO, Johnny Girardi. And back then, really, we had the foresight, or Johnny had the foresight of, a lot of small to medium-sized businesses. They knew they had the data there. Why couldn't they easily report on that data? So back then, they took on Sage 100 as their first ERP, and they've slowly added more and more ERPs since then. In 2017, we became an Acumatica partner. So the nice thing here is we're not new to the Acumatica channel. We have almost 10 years inside of Acumatica, so we really understand the table structures, the data mapping, the logic behind the scenes that's necessary for advanced business intelligence. And I do want to point out that DataSelf is fulfilled by Acumatica. So what this ultimately means is DataSelf has the stamp of approval by Acumatica that we are their preferred business intelligence solution. Now, how does Acumatica help how does DataSelf help the Acumatica community? Well, we understand that Acumatica already has 250 or so standard reports and dashboards that come out of the box, and they cover a variety of different business process areas. And we feel that they really are the best out of all of the ERPs that are in the market today. But these reports and dashboards were built really from a transactional or a process-oriented focus, really this point in time. It's not going to give you the insights for more forward-looking forecasting or the data that would be needed to help drive better business decisions. So that's really kind of the gap that DataSelf has filled here within the Acumatica community. Being able to, if you feel like you've hit some limitations to the native Acumatica reports, being able to leverage a solution like DataSelf to enhance not only Acumatica reporting, but to pull in data from a variety of other data sources to really empower you for better business decisions. And what we like to say is DataSelf is going to deliver a 100% BI-based reporting tools. So that's going to cover data modeling, reports, dashboards, and KPIs. So it's going to get you 80% of what you would expect from a standard business intelligence project. That's going to be delivered all on day one. So we really fast track that business intelligence initiative for you as the end customers, again, allowing you to self-service and really drive better, more informed decisions. Jeff, back to you.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Tom. We will now share the scripted part of the presentation, where I will be playing the part of Roger, and Becky will be playing the part of Sharon, and Tom, of course, will be playing himself. So, hello, my name is Roger, and I am the CFO here at AppraiseMe, an appraisal service. And we have been in operations for 30 years, and I am also joined by Sharon, who is our accounting manager, and we have been working on Microsoft Dynamics SL for over 25 years.
Yeah, I've been on it from the beginning, and Roger for 15 of those years.
And for the sake of consistency with data and reporting, we did not even consider a switch. Fact is, SL met our needs. We had everything we needed for quick analysis.
And we understood it wasn't realistic necessarily to continue along the same path, but for that reason alone, as you know, SL is going away.
And we've recently started an Acumatica implementation and hope to be live within 9 to 12 months.
We are most interested in Acumatica as we run projects, and the functionality from what we have seen is very similar to SL.
But the bottom line is we do not want to lose our SL data. We also do not necessarily want to bring all of it into Acumatica. But we do, however, want seamless reporting that can connect what we had in SL and then also pull in Acumatica data in the same reports we were using before.
We, of course, have done our due diligence and researched the idea of a data mart, but the cost is, well, help us out here.
Yes, Acunet is our bar for SL and for our Acumatica implementation, and they suggested we take a look at DataSelf. So here we are. Let's see what you can do for us, Tom.
Thanks, Sharon and Roger. We hear this concern almost every day, quite often from companies like yours who have projects that may span multiple years. It can be scary to lose access to historical data, and that concern prevents a lot of companies from leaving behind legacy ERP to move to a more modern one like Acumatica. Fortunately, we can help you by pulling your SL data into a data warehouse where you can report on it on its own or combined with your Acumatica data. But that's only the beginning, because once your data is in DataSelf, you'll have access to advanced BI-based reporting tools that makes it easier for you to make more informed business decisions to get the data that you need, whether that's SL, Acumatica, or other business applications. Again, to make more important decisions. So I'd like to take a moment to familiarize you with our solution as a whole.
Okay, sure.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to share, this is our DataSelf value proposition diagram. So typically when clients come to us, they fall into one or several of these categories that you're seeing here on the left-hand side. So it may be conflicting data, laborious reports, slow running reports, multiple data silos. You feel like you're hunting for answers. And really what we do at DataSelf is we deploy a 3-step process. So at our core, this is where we're going to provide enterprise-grade data warehousing. So this is where we're going to use our homegrown extract, transform, and load tool to extract data from Acumatica, as well as be able to extract data from SL or any other data sources that you may have. Excel, payroll, a separate CRM solution, for example. And once we extract that data, we're going to place it inside of a Microsoft SQL Server database. So this data is going to be placed in a format that's more optimized for better reporting. So it's easier, faster, and more flexible. So these reports are going to run in seconds because the data has already been pre-crunched through a SQL Server database. We're also going to validate data accuracy. So once we've connected and validated data accuracy, here you're going to be able to select top analytic tool sets. So it could be Tableau, Power BI, Excel. There's a number of other BI solutions that we could work with as well. But the nice thing here is Tableau is going to be is one that's already included in the DataSelf subscription, for example. So you don't have to reach out to Tableau. But what you're going to gain insight into is a modern reporting tool set. So it's drag and drop, point and click functionality, ultimately empowering your business users to really self-service their analytic needs. And really, in parallel with selecting your analytic tool set is our largest addition. You have access to up to 8,000 pre-configured reports and dashboards. So those are going to cover AR, AP, GL financials, cash flow forecasting, inventory, project accounting, manufacturing. I mean, there's a lot of areas that these templates cover. So the nice thing here is you're not starting from scratch. You're not starting with a blank slate. You already have, depending on the edition, it could be dozens, hundreds, or thousands of reports and dashboards that you can plug and play with. That again gets you 80% of the way there. And then we, during implementation, we at DataSelf will train you, the end user, how to use the platform and how to edit or personalize these reports and dashboards for your unique business needs. So ultimately, the culmination of these three pillars, the data warehousing, top analytic tools, and our largest KPI library, the output is giving you a 360-degree view of your business, really becomes your single source of data truth, and is going to provide automated and streamlined reports and dashboards that's going to give you insights in seconds.
Now, that sounds pretty cool. We are just focused on our historical data, and I didn't realize all these other ways DataSelf could help. That is great. Right, Roger?
Yes, man, I want to hear more about this a little bit later, but can you dig into that historical data situation first? Since that's our immediate concern right now. From what I understand, the data structure in Acumatica is pretty different than what it is in SL. So how is it possible to blend the two in reporting?
Yep. So this slide illustrates the architecture that makes it possible. So I'm just going to take a few moments to review this in more detail with you all.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have two options for live and legacy historical reporting within DataSelf. Option one is where we'll start. So here what we're seeing is we have our live ERP data. So this would be your Acumatica ERP system. What we're going to do is utilize that ETL plus programming tool to extract data from Acumatica and place it inside of a data warehouse. But then once you've gone live with Acumatica, what we can do is we can extract your SL data and we can place that into the data warehouse as well. Now, once we've extracted that data, the SL data, and placed it inside of the data warehouse, at that point, we're going to be able to freeze the raw data. So the nice thing here is you're not going to need to maintain an instance of SL in the future. Both your live Acumatica data and your frozen historical SL data are now in the data warehouse, which can then be leveraged for reports and analytics. So that's our first option, really just extracting live data and then extracting your legacy historical data and placing them into a data warehouse. Option two is where we are going to build on top of option one. So we're still going to extract the live data. We're still going to extract the legacy data and freeze it. But now what we're doing is we're actually going to normalize that data, or we're going to blend that data together. So it's going to give you seamless historical data as if you've never changed ERPs. So you can go back years in time, all within Acumatica, all within DataSelf, and still see that SL data again, in one seamless look and feel as if you've never changed ERP systems.
So you're saying we pretty much could be done with SL altogether and still be able to report on all 25 years worth of our historical data?
Yes, absolutely.
And all the tables from SL will be inside DataSelf?
Correct. Yes.
Oh man, that would be fantastic, not having to worry about SL eventually becoming incompatible with new technology. This seems like it would solve our historical reporting issues, but what about moving forward? I mean, we have certain reports that we rely on heavily in Excel, but we also have several Excel files that slice and dice the information differently than those Excel reports did, with calculations and a pull of data from different tables. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So Acumatica's out-of-the-box reporting, as I mentioned earlier, is better than a lot of the other ERPs. But
Mhm.
let me explain some differences between ERP reporting and BI-based reporting. ERP reporting is more focused on transactional information. Okay, dollars in, dollars out, inventory in, inventory out. Okay, more process oriented. Okay, with DataSelf, what you're going to be able to do is pull in or leverage reporting from multiple different business areas that really are going to give you or highlight more informed business decisions for management reporting. So being able to see out into the future or forecast, set up certain calculations for those forecasts, be able to easily slice and dice your data without needing any uh, knowledge of how the data structures map together. Again, all of this being seamless as if you've never changed ERP systems. So again, we like to say with DataSelf, we really provide a solution that is going to allow you to make more informed business decisions, not with current ERP data, but also past ERP information, as well as other data sources altogether.
I see, I understand, and I'm curious, how will this work for us?
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that you have a large library of pre-configured reports and templates, and 8,000 is impressive to say the least.
Yeah, can you show us some examples?
Well, and specifically, like at AppraiseMe, for us, we need to be able to pull sales by customers across old SL and current Acumatica. We need project details for time, obviously, and expenses and billings. And we have audits, and we'll eventually need AP detail by vendor, some of which only will exist in SL, and some of it will be in Acumatica. And those types of reporting needs are our greatest concerns. But please show us what you have.
Absolutely. Let's take a look. So here I am, and let me just refresh here. So here we are within an example of our Acumatica instance. So I do first just want to highlight the fact that DataSelf can be embedded inside of Acumatica. So this is where you're going to be able to view that historical data, that SL data, even inside of Acumatica. Now, while this is loading here, really what I want to highlight today is just for you to have a good understanding of the overall or general concepts within DataSelf altogether. So how we are going to empower you, the business user, to be really self-service your business needs. So there's going to be a handful of reporting templates that I'm going to cover today. I don't think you want me to demo all 8,000 reports, nor
No,
do
not
I
today,
want
really.
to.
Yeah.
So really just trying to give you a good understanding of these concepts. So
Sure, I
where
understand.
I want to start is our slicer template. And the slicer template is best used for quick answers to ad hoc questions. Okay, here we are. This is on our right-hand side. These are our filters. So here I have the financial year and the financial periods. So if I wanted to do some comparative analysis, and let's say that in 2028, in my demo box, we live in the future, but in 2028, we cut over to Acumatica. Okay, simply by selecting all and apply, here I'm going to be able to see sales broken down by customer across all periods. Now this is going to be encompassing SL data as well as current Acumatica data. Okay,
Very cool.
simply from point and click functionality. Getting back to 2030, maybe I want to look at not just, maybe I want to drill into this year here. Okay, I can expand this column out, and now I'm seeing all of the months within the year. Okay, maybe I just want to see Q1 2030. Here I can go into my periods, point click, and apply. So now we're able to see just period one, quarter one 2030 sales by customer data. Now it's important to note, we are looking at this slicer template right now. At its core, it is a template. Okay, so this could be leveraged in a variety of business use cases, GL financials, project accounting, inventory, just some examples here.
Right.
Now, right now, I'm looking at sales broken down by customer, but maybe I don't want to see sales broken down by customer. I can select these drop downs here at the top, or what they're known as slicers within DataSelf. And here I have my listing of metrics that I can select. Now, you in a production environment are going to be able to define what these metrics are. This is just some basic demo data that we're seeing here, but I do just want to highlight that we can ultimately pull in an unlimited number of custom fields. So even if your SL data or your Acumatica instance is heavily customized, we're going to be able to extract that data into DataSelf to leverage for reporting purposes. And again, that goes back to that data warehousing pillar, leveraging the ETL Plus programming tool. Okay. But this is where I could say, all right, I want to see maybe sales broken down by my project or job,
Right.
for example. So here I can select that project. Maybe we'll do salesperson just because it has better data here. Okay, so now we're seeing sales broken down by salesperson. Again, these reports are going to spin up in just seconds because that data has already been pre-crunched or digested through the data warehouse. At this point, you can see up at the top here, we have customers already selected. Maybe I want to expand on what I'm looking at here. So not just sales by the salesperson, but maybe now I'll just pull in project details. I know it's not great demo data, but just to show you what this could look like.
Yeah,
and then I'll slice it down even further. Maybe I want to see, broken down by the individual document or the AR invoice. Okay, and now we can see that AR detail, those invoice and memos showing up, populating in just seconds. Okay, so ultimately what this slicer template allows you to do is easily slice and dice your data into smaller bite-sized pieces, however you would like. Okay, it's very intuitive, just simple point-click functionality. On the right-hand side, right now we're looking at just sales data, but I could select this drop-down. This could be multi-select. This is where you could see variances, gross profit, net profit, etc. Again, similar to the slicers up at the top, we're going to be able to add whatever metrics that you would need to analyze and also teach you how to add these metrics so that you can choose them within our slicer template. But just to show you what this looks like, maybe I'll put the gross profit percentage in here and I'll apply. Okay, so now we're able to see sales broken down by the salesperson, the project, the document number, and then even have our sales and gross profit information. It's important to note that these slicer templates here, and really this is going to be consistent functionality throughout, you're going to be able to save these dashboards. So if you initially create this dashboard in your, wrong button here. You initially create this dashboard and you want to save this, hey, this looks good. I want to have this be a part of my normal reports that I run, whether that's weekly, monthly, etc. You are going to be able to save these reports, as well as you're going to be able to export these to Excel if you'd like, or PDF, PowerPoint, in image. And you're also going to be able to set up alerts, very similar to like what you would see within business events in Acumatica, where it can actually alert you when a certain threshold is met. So maybe, for example, my margin or my gross profit breaks under 35%, it's going to automatically trigger an email to come out to go to me, alerting me of this. So these dashboards, these reports and dashboards within DataSelf are going to allow you to really be more proactive instead of reactive from a data analysis perspective. Okay.
So yeah, so how does the distribution of these reports work? And do those that need to get them, do they need a license to view, or how does that actually work?
Yep. So the distribution of these reports can be done via email. So we can set up subscriptions. So either one individual or several individuals receive these reports or dashboards at a set period in time. So they can be automatically distributed, or you as the end user could export these into a particular format and then distribute them however you would want.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
hey,
wow.
I'd like
Perfect.
to
Thanks.
have you take a look at some of those other tabs, those templates that you have in place, if you want to show us those.
Yeah. So I want to just show you quickly what a dashboard looks like within DataSelf. So there are dashboards natively within Acumatica. Now those dashboards within Acumatica, when you drill down into them, they're going to take you into a generic inquiry where then you have to analyze that data further. The difference with DataSelf dashboards as it relates to Acumatica dashboards is when you drill into any dashboard, it's still going to maintain that dashboard look and feel.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to show you an example of what this looks like, again, this is a template. So we're looking at it as it relates to sales, but it could be GL financials, project accounting, inventory, etc. Okay, really the vision here is for you, the business users, to be able to identify any outliers and drill into to understand why something is happening. So just to give you a quick understanding of the lay of the land, here we have this year, prior year, and the variance. We see our sales trended over time. We can even pull in geographic views so we can see how our sales are performing, or maybe how our projects or jobs are performing across the various job sites. Revenues are up, or we're making money if we see black, and we're losing money if we see red here. And then on the right-hand side, we're able to see the customer name, the products and services prior year, this year, and the variances. Okay, so we'll pick on New York here. We can see that New York has a 25% sales growth this year compared to the prior year. Certainly a very exciting achievement. So let's drill in and figure out why that's happening. When I select New York, now my dashboard's only showing me data pertaining to my New York customers.
Yeah, really nice.
Yep. And really what grabs my attention is, although we have 25% sales growth, this my third largest customer prior year, I can see is down almost 900,000 this year. Why is that happening? I drill into this customer. Now my dashboard's only showing me data pertaining to this customer. What are the products or services that are really driving that decline? Well, I can see it's these items right here. And when I highlight those items, I can then say, show me the details. And at the bottom, now I'm able to see those actual individual invoice dates, the invoice number, customer name, item description or service descriptions, and the transactional information. And just like in Acumatica, anything that's in blue is a hyperlink that you could drill down to into the source document. We do have hyperlink capabilities that could drill back to that invoice and memo if I wanted to review this AR invoice in more detail. So again, just recapping here, the year-over-year dashboard, this is our most popular of our dashboard templates because it allows management to really understand big picture, how well we're performing, be able to easily identify any outliers, drill down and understand why something is occurring. Okay. Now we talked about legacy data blending here. I do just want to show you an example of what this could look like. So we touched on it a little bit in our slicer template, but here is a showing you with two different color codings. So we can see the green here is our legacy information and the black is our live. Now in a production environment, it would be one consistent color coding. You can ultimately decide what that is. Typically it's black here, but right now we're looking at monthly revenues by customer. So this is where anything in green, this is going to be our SL data. Anything in black is our Acumatica. So again, showing you that seamless, this would be option 2, a version of option 2, showing you that seamless integration of legacy and live data for analysis purposes.
Very nice.
Now, the last template that I just want to show you here, and you got a sneak peek when I first logged in, is our 360-degree view dashboard. Just to explain kind of the vision here, and I'll walk you through this template. And again, this is just a template, so you can ultimately decide which dashboards you would like included here. But as the name indicates, it gives you a 360-degree view of your business. So this template could encompass multiple different data from multiple different data sources, or it could just have multiple different dashboards covering various departments within your organization. As mine is set up currently, it has multiple different data sources. And how mine is set up in my data environment or demo environment, on the left-hand side is more forecasting analysis. So here I can see cash flow projection. So I'm going to be able to review, the money that's coming in against the money that we already have on hand with the money that we have coming in, whether that's through sales orders or accounts receivable, and show that against the money that we have coming out through payables, purchase orders, payroll, etc. And then this black line here is going to be able to show me, hey, where will we be from a cash on hand perspective at any point in time into the future? Here we can see open AR, open sales orders, open CRM opportunities, days of stock, HCM information. Okay, so this is all forecasting analysis here. This center portion, this is where we're going to be able to see more trailing statistics. So looking at this point now, into the past, whether that's 3 months or 6 months behind. So here we have a 6-month P&L. We can see our revenues by our budgets. We can see our revenue mix and how we're performing across geographically. All right, and then on this right-hand side, this is where we're pulling in separate data sources. So maybe you have a physical store, so you have point of sale information, or you have e-commerce presence. You want to see your e-commerce sales. Google Analytics or page views from your website views. Again, labor utilization rates for job costings or projects, and then your HCM data. So being able to encompass all of this data inside of DataSelf that you can then consume if wanted inside of Acumatica. So again, that's really one of the main differences between Acumatica and DataSelf is we can pull in all of these separate sources in one solution.
That's just fantastic. Seeing this is just really crazy. I wanted to circle back just on a question I had on the custom fields that were added to SL, like for projects and for vendors and customers. What we're now doing or want to do in Acumatica is to create attributes as fields to hold the same information and then use that for reporting. Are we able to still compare the two in these reports?
Yes, absolutely. That's correct. Using our ETL tool, we can absolutely achieve that.
Perfect. And what about like creating new reports? I mean, not that 8,000 isn't enough, but there's always another manager that wants a different view of something. So how is it for creating something new altogether from those templates?
Yep, absolutely. So I'm just going back to our year over year here. So what I did is I just selected our edit button. So I'm just going to give you a quick sneak peek as to the ease and flexibility for altering or even creating your own reports if you'd like. Let me see here. I may have to sign in, so please hold. So it is important to note while I'm doing this, DataSelf is going to be browser-based, so you're going to be able to have access to DataSelf, just like with Acumatica, anytime, anywhere from any device. So you would even be able to analyze this from your phone, for example. So if you're standing in line at a coffee shop and you just want to see how your P&L is doing,
you want to keep
whatever,
working, that's
it. Exactly. You can never unplug, even when you're on vacation, right? So here we are in the back-end plumbing, and thank you for being patient with me. Ultimately, just to give you a lay of the land here on the right or left-hand side, here we can see all the tables. So these are all the tables or fields that are already within Acumatica. So the nice thing here is you as a business user don't need to understand how the data is modeled together, how these individual data sources or these data points snap into place together. Okay, so I can just easily through drag and drop functionality create my own dashboard. So this is an example that I'm showing you here just for the sake of time, where I'm editing a out of the box template that we have. So maybe right now we have customer name. Maybe I don't want the customer name. I want the customer ID instead. Simple drag and drop, put it over top, and now I'm seeing that customer ID. And maybe now I want to see the item associated with it. Again, drag and drop functionality, and it automatically populates for me. So again, just a brief example of some of the power that's available to make these modifications to the existing reports or to create a new report from scratch.
Okay, perfect. That seems pretty straightforward enough. And I like that our users don't have to be techies to be able to leverage the data in DataSelf. But I don't necessarily want my PMs to see other PMs' projects, right?
Yeah, and I certainly don't want everyone to have access to sensitive financial information. Can you explain your security?
Absolutely. So security is of the utmost importance to DataSelf. And this is really where you as the individual organizations, you're going to be able to set up or restrict what your users actually have access to. So you can have that set up at a role level or an individual level, but this is where you can define my financial people only have access to the financial data, or my project people only have access to my project information, but maybe my financial people, they have access to the financials and some project information because, inherently, projects have financial information attached to it. So you are going to be able to really define what your users have access to and restrict that in whatever manner that you need. Now, it is important to note, although DataSelf can be embedded inside of Acumatica, it does not mean that it's going to assume the securities that you already have in place in Acumatica. So you would have to recreate those securities, but typically not a major lift in any way within the DataSelf solution.
Okay. So sometimes in SL, we've had issues with upgrades. Like if there's add-on products, we use, sometimes it's slow to put out new releases and they're not always compatible with the latest SL version. So will we have to worry about DataSelf becoming incompatible with Acumatica?
No, DataSelf is the only BI tool that has been selected as part of the Fulfilled by Acumatica program. So being in this program means that we are part of the Always Current program and have committed to always keeping our offering current with the latest Acumatica releases. So the upgrade process is seamless.
So that's very cool. And I also saw on like one of your slides that we could use whichever front-end reporting tools we want. What are the different options that we have?
Yep. So we have Tableau, Power BI, and Excel. So we find that Tableau and Power BI are typically our most frequently selected. So those are normally 1 and 2 when you look at the rankings in terms of best business intelligence solutions on the open market. But we do have some individuals that like to leverage Excel just to optimize performance overall in Excel. We all know Excel is great until it has too much data and it's too slow. So we can help even from a speed or performance perspective with Excel.
Those are all fantastic. And obviously we're old school for us. We use Excel, but I'm glad to see that there are other options.
Yeah, I think I still have it in me to learn another form of reporting.
I know you do, Sharon. You'll do just fine.
Thanks, Roger. So we could continue with Excel to start.
And then move into one of the or multiple other options as we expand use down the road.
Yeah, we are willing to change to move forward. And I love what I've seen, but being the senior member of staff here, I would hate to lose the data I spent so much of my life working with and gathering through all of these years.
And we want to keep Sharon happy, as she is the one who has all the knowledge. So thanks a lot, Tom. What are the next steps now that we are interested in this product?
Yep. So the next steps is if you could just reach out to your Acunet and to your Acunet account executive, and together we can coordinate a follow-up meeting. Typically, what we like to do is have a discovery first. That way we really understand what data problems you have and the better insights that you're looking for. And then following that, we will conduct a custom demo for you.
And obviously we've ended the script, so thanks, thanks Tom for that. So it sounds perfect.
Yeah, so if anybody here is interested in a deeper dive into Acumatica, we can also assist you with that. We also offer a free discovery session and a demo of Acumatica. Please reach out to the email addresses on this slide if interested.
Right. So thanks again, Tom, for your time and for showing us that product. And again, I know you're just touching the surface, but it's really just a fantastic tool. And thank you, Becky, too, for joining us. And thank you all for watching.
Thank you both.
Thank you.